optimizing product listing for mobile, and oh my god, this is so important thing. So I cannot understand like why people like mess up this thing. And I at the same time also talking about my own team sometimes. Like when I look at some of our product listings on mobile, like I'm asking my team, like, what are you thinking? Like. Truly essential nowadays. So, okay, why mobile? Steps how to optimize your listing, tips and tricks, and what an optimized mobile version actually looks like. So those are the things that we're going to be discussing. And yeah, I mean, why? Because majority of traffic actually comes from mobile devices, and it's been growing, increasing already. I would say like whatever, like if you think about like overall smartphones, like at least I remember like was it like a decade or so, like Facebook was going through this transition, and I remember like how horrible Facebook actually looked like on mobile. So it was truly horrible experience. So Facebook actually, this was the same time they were going through the IPO, and they were. Joseph is saying my audience seems to be gone. Can you hear me?
Sounds fine.
Sounds fine. All right, cool. Anyway, regarding Facebook, so I mean, Facebook, this was the time that they were going through their IPO. So, and Facebook was actually losing a lot of the traffic. I mean, people were just spending more time using applications on mobile, and yeah, I mean, Facebook was terrible. So it was kind of like interesting also, like internally inside of Facebook, like when they had these kind of like company meetings where Mark Zuckerberg was talking to the whole company and whatever. So everyone's expecting that he's gonna be talking only about the IPO, upcoming IPO, and blah 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 about strategy, whatever. But he actually said, like straight in the beginning, I mean, you all of you, you can just forget about the IPO thing. I mean, I will handle that. But you, I mean, you need to get us to mobile. You need to get like Facebook working seamlessly on mobile devices. And yeah, I mean, that was kind of pivotal point also for Facebook, able to kind of turn things around, because at the time they were losing a lot of their users. So, well, I mean, obviously, yeah, blah, blah. Not everyone has a desktop computer or laptop, but still, I mean, even if you do, like, what are you going to use for shopping in terms of like Amazon? Okay, it really depends on how much you're used to shopping. Like, okay, let's say if you live in a country like in Finland, where ordering something from Amazon, it's not seamless at all in terms of like logistics. So okay, probably you do that on a desktop, but when you think about like like in California, like everyone's just using their mobile phones to order stuff from Amazon, and it's because of convenience. And you know, I mean, Amazon actually patented this like watches thing, so it's like truly important. And absolutely, like mobile supports like convert way more better than desktop users. So user experience has to be seamless. So cramped text, blurry images, slow loading times on mobile really lead to frustration and this like cart abandonment. By the way, are we recording? Woke up and spec. Yes, that's good. Okay. Quick conversion. Mobile users often make quick, impulsive decisions, and especially like when we are selling products that, like, you know, cost $50 or less, or around that area. Then I mean, then you are targeting impulse purchases, impulse buyers. So, I mean, how is that decision made? It's made super quick, and it can be really made in just a even matter of seconds. Meaning that, oh, okay, I would actually need this kind of this kind of thing, maybe. So you just kind of like, okay, search on mobile, and then you just check out a couple of different options, and then just click like buy, and boom, that's it. You didn't even spend a minute doing that. And especially like on mobile, like maybe your friend mentioned something that, oh right, actually I need that too, and then you basically do it just immediately on the spot. So it is this kind of like seamless experience. And this is so true, like especially in the US, people actually often forget about the product before. Um, like I remember some guy was saying that like if half of his purchases from Amazon didn't arrive, that I mean he wouldn't even notice, which kind of tells like the volume that he's doing, buying stuff from online, but also that it's just such a seamless, such a small thing that buys even like small stuff that it's not going to change his life if it doesn't, if he never even gets the product. So, and if it's a hassle in buying the product, then obviously, I mean, you might even get the whole thing. And oftentimes, like we might see like ads. I mean, maybe you're browsing on some social media, or maybe you're browsing on Amazon just to look for different things, and then you see an ad for something, and oh, actually, this seems really cool. But especially in this kind of like interruptive, like marketing, like on social media, you're browsing, and then you see this ad for like some cool product, and this is pretty interesting, and then like even if you buy it on the spot, you might actually forget the whole thing. And especially like if it's a hassle in buying it, then okay, goodbye. Then brand image, it's really paints the brand as outdated if it doesn't really work on mobile. So competitors who really prioritize mobile offer a better experience and really can attract customers. So what do we need to look for when we are going mobile? So obviously first thing is to take the phone, open Amazon, search for your keyword, and see how your product listing looks like. I mean, does it actually stand out, or does it look the same thing? And here we always need to consider that one of the things that people see. So okay, first thing they see is the image, but then second thing is probably going to be price, because price is the major like buying decision factor. Meaning that if we see that, oh, okay, this $26 for a jump rope, but hey, this is $6. I mean, is this $26 really that much better? Oh, probably not. So it's just a jump rope. So, for example, I bought one from a store in Finland for €2. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just the same thing, but more expensive thing. So obviously, I'm going to go with the cheaper one, because there's no justification, there's no reason that I should going for the higher price. So if you're like pricing your product much higher than others, there has to be really good reason, really good justification why they should actually pick the higher price. But yeah, we can see it. I mean, its title is pretty strong, limited, so it's really limited, like what customers actually see. And then, I mean, there are things that you need to prioritize, and it really depends on the product. I wouldn't say that it needs to be brand name. No, I mean, it totally depends on the product. What are the things that you need to, get across? What do you need to emphasize to the people, who are making the buying decisions? Like, what do you need to what do you need in order to stand out from everyone rest? Or, I mean, all the rest. Like here, we always need to consider that people are just spending a few seconds at this view, so they already need to understand from the image what it is, what's the value, and from the title. Okay, title needs to show the words that they need to understand about regarding the product. Okay, so we go with the $6 one. I mean, it's why should I pay 26 if I can pay $6, right? So main image, default orientations is portrait. So product should definitely, I mean, when we have this kind of space to use, I mean, we should definitely fill it to the max, right? So product should absolutely like fill maturity, I mean, as much of the main image as possible. And definitely be like high definition with crisp details, prioritizing images as well. So you need to check that how they actually look like, and especially like consider like people who have like smaller screen. Are they able to actually read this stuff? Does it make actually sense on mobile? So oftentimes the answer is no. I mean, this doesn't look good on mobile at all. This actually looks unreadable. I mean, it's impossible to say, well, what is it actually saying, right? So everything should be readable and large enough. And that's, one of the most common things that, you design the product images only for like bigger phones with bigger display, meaning that, okay, for example, I have this iPhone Pro Max, so obviously when the display is so much bigger, then I can read much more. But we should really consider that what's the majority of the user. The majority of the buyers don't have iPhone like Pro Max that they're using to browse, using to buy. So it needs to be readable, large enough, easy to understand, not too crowded, not too overwhelming, and having like good thumbnails and videos and so on. And here it kind of it's not that good to give like advice like that would like be cast in stone regarding this content, because it really depends on the product, and it really depends like what are the things that they sees as important when they are actually making the buying decisions. But okay, if we are talking a really general level, then okay, I mean, the text should be small enough not to divert the attention. The image would be big enough to be still readable. So it truly is this balance. But even so, I mean, we spend more time on split testing, and the conversion is the thing that tells us that, okay, is the product listing good or is it not good? I mean, it's pretty crystal clear. Like if you have low conversion rate, meaning that, okay, it's 10% like out of 100, every 100 visitors on our product listing, only 10 people buy, then okay, that means that our product listing is not good. Then we need to do something in order to improve it. So the way to really figure out, okay, do we have a good product listing or not, is, I mean, it's only split testing that tells the truth. I mean, of course, we can always assume that, oh, maybe this is better, maybe this makes worse, but we will only know after doing split testing, after having data. So images need to maximize the space, but not to be too overwhelming. And here is super important thing too. I mean, we have been discussing about this before, but on mobile, like nowadays, I guess like past like 5 years or whatever, like, and TikTok has had really big impact on this, like how people actually behave on their mobile phones. So nowadays, like people are used to more like scrolling instead of swiping. So often scrolling more in mobile to read the information than swiping. And here the difference is that, I mean, neither of these listings is good, but the point here is that, okay, this one on the right, I mean, only way for you to get the information is to swipe. But the question is that, are people really willing to do that? Meaning that, okay, they arrive to your product listing and they are scrolling, but do they suddenly decide that, okay, now I'm going to be swiping and I'm going to look at these images. There's 5 images here, so I'm going to be swiping like to read through all of these. Or would it be actually easier to get the person, the visitor, to consume the material when they are only scrolling instead of swiping? So that's the question, and often it is that people are used to scrolling instead of swiping. So, but yeah, I mean, even regarding this example here, I mean, here is a good example that this text here, even on the left, I mean, this is pretty much unreadable. You cannot really read this small text, so it's a good example how not to do these product listings on mobile, meaning that you are using too small text which is unreadable in a smaller display. And I mean, don't plan for making things how they look on these like bigger displays, but instead like small displays. And then I mean, okay, using different compression tools also to especially like if you're like when you're talking on your own, so then I mean, loading times is one of the things that Google also values. And if you're doing like running these Google ads that basically show your images like directly on Google's, and where people are like able to buy directly from the search result, then I mean, Google is not gonna give you good reads, give organic reads or like visibility if the website is not loading quickly. So on our own sites, we have to make sure that everything is really compressed and optimized for quick loading times. And yeah, I mean, avoiding cluttering images with unnecessary elements. And it's also good to consider that, okay, so what is unnecessary? Of course, we can always, you know, let's say that we know the product inside out. We are the typical customer. I mean, I've been using these products for 10 years. I know what people want. Cool, okay. So then you probably have good information for the designer as a starting point, meaning that you create some kind of images and cool. But thing is that you shouldn't stop there. Even if you think that, even if you have been using this product for decades and you know what the customers want, like let's say that you are the end customers, but still, I mean, culture matters here as well. So let's say that if you're from Europe and you're actually selling in the US, so do you necessarily understand how the US customers think, or vice versa? Or if you're selling in some, or especially like Middle East, like, do you know how, let's say that, I mean, fine, you know the niche, you know the like category inside and out, but do you really know how the people from Middle East actually think about it? Maybe not. So that's why it really comes down to doing the necessary test in order to make sure that, okay, is the conversion rate going up or down? And spend a minimum like 1 week to gather data. I mean, it's impossible to make really decisions based on just a few days or so, but it really has to be long enough period in order to make sure that it, you know, that it makes sense. Clear, accurate product information, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, consider adding these product views from different angles and just deciding, trying out different things to see that what actually makes sense, and having these 360 product views to have this interactive and engaging experience. But yeah, I mean, point is that we have to test it. We have to open a product listing on our own mobile devices to just to see that how this actually look like. But the thing is that conversion rate always tells the reality that, okay, I mean, is it good or is it not so good? So let's see what we have here. So this is kind of different kinds of different kind of videos and images, and but here comes more down to depending on the product. Like, okay, for example, about this, sure, you could say that, oh, okay, nice colors and so on, but I mean, I know nothing about this product. I've never used one, or don't never plan on using one, so it's not my area of expertise. But still, I mean, if I would sell this, I would just start with something and then use the experiments to tell me that, okay, I mean, are things actually going better or worse?